Hi everybody, I'm here to demonstrate your dumbbell program session number 5. We are going to start with some CARs, so controlled articular rotation, and we've got 4 areas to do today. We're going to do scapula, elbow, hips and spine. And then the warm-up is the same. We've got 4 movements: interarm, single leg hip bridges, side to side lunges, and then our air squats. So let's start with our scapula. So we're going to actually start with breathing, because we want to just set the midline and set our kind of standing position first. So if you haven't done much work on your breathing and creating tension, don't worry. I think the point here is that we're standing up, we're standing in an upright position with a strong kind of neutral position. So not quite in your normal, natural kind of like hip stance, but we're upright, we've got our tailbone tucked under. You're taking a breath, we can pull the ribcage down slightly, and when you press in and around, you should feel just a little bit of tension through the midline, okay? We'll do more work around that, but the idea is that you imagine everything else is in cement, except the kind of joint that you're trying to work on. So the ones that we're working on at the moment, or in this round, are going to be our scapula, so the bone sitting at the top of our back, and the joints around that. So we're going to just back, lift, bring them forward, down. We're trying to keep our elbows straight. Then we'll go in the opposite direction, keeping elbows straight, keeping your spine in the same position. And up. So we're starting to learn. In fact, a lot of people at this point will just be learning how to mobilize the scapula, learning that you have scapula in the first place, right? Okay, so let's go to our elbows next. So you're just going to hold arms straight out in front of you. We can do 1 arm at a time, or we can do 2 arms together for now. So we're going to go up and back. Seems pretty simple and straightforward. So you're just closing the joint. I should have my hands still, sorry, wrist still, extending the joint. So we're going to full range, just checking in that you're not just going to here, we're actually going to full range. Okay. Then we can turn the palms around, and we can come in, back down in that position. We'll do that one more time. At the same time, back out. We can turn the wrists around here, then we can come up into there, then we can turn our wrists around here. So now we're going to do the turning at the top of the movement here. Okay, super. Elbows, hips. So hips, we're going to make sure we've got something to hold on to, partly because we want to make sure that we, again, hold everything in cement. So really easy when we're twisting that leg around for the pelvis to come with us. So we're trying to keep it in position, keep everything. I'm guilty of it, so we'll try and best just to keep checking in on ourselves. Cross front leg over, and we're going to lift that, set ourselves up first, sorry. Take a breath, check you've got that tension, nice and still, and then we lift that inside foot up as high as we can. Okay, once you feel like, right, can't get it up any further, let's take it up and around, and here, check in now that you are not tilting in the pelvis, you're just moving in this joint. You can already feel me dropping down. And down in front. Let's swap sides. Whoa, lots of cracking and popping. Okay, and again, just check in that there's no major movement going on around the pelvis, especially as you come back here. Back, up, in, and down. Awesome. Okay, well done. I'm working off my phone today, which keeps locking on me. I think I've done everything. Oh no, we're going to spine. So we're going down into your cat-cow position. And we're going to go work up the spine, work back down the spine. Do it at your own pace, nice and steady. I'm going to start with my tailbone, lifting my tailbone and trying to work everything one vertebrae at a time. Then I'm going to go from my head down going to start with my head again. Trying to break this down when you're used to just doing cat-cow. It's just weird. But a really nice, all of those cars, an amazing opportunity to just check in with our joints. When do we ever get the opportunity to do that? So really valuable, and we'll be doing more and more work on that as we go over the next kind of couple of months, and as we reopen, it's definitely going to be built into our practice and even maybe exist a little bit on its own. So excited about that. We are going for inchworms, single leg glute raises or a hip bridge. Then we're going to go side to side lunge and squats. So carry on with your inchworms. Eventually, with our inchworms, we want to get to the point where our feet are together if we've got the possible flexibility there and the mobility to do it. When I start, I never have the mobility there, so I'm always going to start with my legs wide, walking it out into a nice high plank, walking it back in, getting my heels down as soon as I can. All right, so now I'm going to take my feet in a little bit more because I'm feeling good. I'm starting to improve in my flexibility. Good, so as long as you can get your palms down immediately, and as long as you can keep your palms down here, close to the feet, you're all good. So I'm good there. Now move my feet in a little bit closer together. The trick will be, can I get my heels back on the ground? You're doing 8 to 10 reps. Carry on. Nothing stopping you from going wider again. Getting a nice deep stretch into the hips. Back out. Playing around with movement. Good. These should be getting easier and easier every week because you're starting week on week, taking your weight, your body weight, taking your body weight through your arms, through your hands, and being able to manage it in a moving position. Okay, single leg glute raises. So again, just as a reminder, before you do your glute raises, set your back, or draw that box on your back. So top of the box is bra strap, down your sides, and then you've got your pelvis as the bottom of the box. You're going to press that box into the floor, squeeze 50 pence piece, and up you go. Now I've set this position, I'm going to work on maintaining this position as I move. And again, we'll try and go for 8 to 10 reps. If you need to do less, that's fine. It's the same in the inchworms. People will be coming into this and switching over with their own kind of baseline. So you just work from your baseline and work up at a slow, steady pace every week, every session. A good way to think of it is, in every session, side lunges, you are just training for the next session. You are just training for the next opportunity to train. We're not trying to hit any records or personal bests. Good. Okay, so sides. You can do these alternate sides or one side at a time. Good, getting a nice deep stretch in everyone. My hips are still popping. Okay, and then just some air squats. 8 to 10. Okay, and then we'll do that round again. Back to your inchworms. Good, try and get your last few. Make them a little bit more challenging. Get those feet in as close as you can together. And for you, that might still be hip width, might still be really wide, it's fine. As long as you're reaching your end range here. So hands must get to the floor. Palms, I should say. Alrighty, single leg glute raises. Alrighty. If I'm moving too fast, just pause me and carry on with your pacing. It's single leg lunges now, side lunges, and then your squats. So yeah, just move at your own pace. If you can pause me, speed me up, turn me off, whatever you need. You'll notice that I do a lot of my training in my feet or socks. And even when I wear the trainers at the moment, they're like the tiniest, tiniest sole. And part of that is that it's an opportunity for you to just feel the earth while we have these precious moments of movement where we just focus on ourselves. It's a really nice time to check in with how you're connecting to the floor. What's going on between the feet? And using that connection to create force and drive. Cushion trainers and spongy stuff is great for running, but when we're moving like this, it's a bit like yoga, I suppose, isn't it? It's a nice time to slow down and check in with yourself. Okay, super. So let's move on. We're going to do goblet squat. If you want to do another round of that warm up, please do. Just pause and then repeat and come back to me. Goblet squat and single leg calf raises. I'm going to do every round once. So after each round, you can pause me and then you can repeat the round 2 or 3 times and come back. So yeah, do the round anytime, anywhere between 2 and 3. I'm going to demonstrate 1 today. I'm recording this on one of the hottest days of the year. I'm also upstairs in the hub, which is even hotter. So yeah, sweating buckets. I'm going to start with goblet squats. I'm going to continue to apply my 3-1, 3-1. 3 on the way down, hold for 1 for a second, back up for 3, hold for 1 at the top. And then we just keep going until we need to stop. So I'm going to start with my 12. And again, the place I'm going to start when I think about technique for this is with my feet. What's going on between me and the floor? Goblet squat. So you've got whatever weight you've got, you're holding it on or just off your chest actually. Just off your chest. Amazing core exercise as well as kind of whole body, but by having the weight on the front here forces you to keep that bit more upright, to be really stable through the midline. Good, check in with those knees, make sure they're staying over your heels. Enough already. Alrighty, make sure you're writing down your, see if this will work. Okay, I'm just going to use a yoga block for my heel raises. You'll have, if you've got dumbbells in your hand, just hold on to a wall. But because it's single leg, you're taking all of your weight into one side. So choose whether you want to hold the weight or not. You might get a decent amount of reps just with body weight here. Three, two, one, hold for one. 3, 2, 1, up. 3, 2, 1, down. 3, 2, 1, up. 2, 1, down. Ooh. Ouch. Okay, I'm going to go to the other side. This yoga block is so much better than using anything else I've ever used for these. So you've got a really nice cushion. When my ball of my foot just sinks in, but yeah, it feels stable. It's weird. 3, 2, 1, hold. 3, 2, 1, down. Good. So just focus on your numbers now. Make sure you're counting your reps. If you're doing single-sided reps, quite often better to start on the non-dominant side and then make sure you match it with your stronger side. Although the goal here is to kind of go for as many reps as you can, but if you are working on evening out your sides, that's a really good way to do it. So in other words, if I get 8 reps on my weak side, I'm going to match it 8 reps on my strong side. Rather than doing 20 on my strong side and 8 on my weak side, that gap would be very dramatic. And we should be trying to change gaps that are dramatic like that. Okay, on to the end. Whee! Alrighty. Fantastic. Those calf raises, we put them in every program and almost every session. One of the reasons is because we're just, well, historically anyway, not getting out as much and doing as much walking. So it's a really nice way to get some instant strength in there. Okay, 2-minute rest. And then we're doing the next exercise. And they are, in fact, yeah, turn me off if you're kind of still working. And yeah, do another kind of round or 2 of those goblet squats and single leg calf raises. Otherwise, we're moving on to around the world lunges and push press. So around the world lunges is basically lunge back, lunge to the side, and lunge forward. If any of those irritate you, so if some of our people with knee injuries, lunging forward is just not comfortable, so just don't do it. Or just do the lunge into it, keep kind of relatively upright so there's no major change of angles in the knee. So do what's comfortable. And then push press, I will demo. So let's just do those for you. Lunges, I'm always going to start with reverse lunge, then I'm going out to the side, and then I'm going forward. So because I've moved and trained quite a bit, I know my my knee going down in that lunge is happy reaching the floor, but you do the depth that works for you. And remember, you're going to do this to exhaustion, so it's more about trying to keep technique and do a really good job with that. Then we've got push press. So the difference between some of the presses you might have done is that we keep some strict press when the whole body is dead still and you're just pressing up using the arms. Push press is a lovely one because you get a nice little press from the knees. So you can dip through the knees, dip and drive, dip and drive. Sideways, I'm not driving my knees forward, I'm dipping a little bit like dipping my pelvis as well as my knees. So I'm staying over my heels. All right, so here, boom. And actually, I'm driving from the bum, not just from the quads. So when you're doing those, I really want you to squeeze your bum as much as you can so that we can get force and drive. Big set of muscles, let them work with the quads at the front so we can really get a good powerful drive up through the arms. You'll find that you might be able to push weight, more weight a lot easier by just having that lower body help with that one. Okay, let's go. I'm going to start with my lunges. I didn't start backwards that time, like I said I would. So that's 1. 2, I'm going to stick to one side, and then I'm going to do the other side so that I start to assess whether there is a big difference from one side to the other. It's not the legs that are tiring, it's the heat and the sweat. Okay, got one more in me. Done with that leg. Alrighty, I'm going to go with my left. Definitely notice the power coming out of that front squat. Not as good on this leg, even though I've been trying to even them out for years. Getting there. Alrighty, just a quick drink, and then back into our push press. So this one is explosive. And let's do 3 on the way down. Explosive, 3 on the way down. In fact, let me experiment with that actually before you go and do it. So Yeah, so just a bit slower on the way down. I'm going to carry on. So you can either choose bring them back to here, to shoulder, and then push up, or bring them down all at the same time. If you're moving quickly, you'll be doing both at the same time. Okay, press that big toe to the floor. Squeeze your bum. Alrighty, 2-minute rest. If you're repeating, put me on pause again. And off you go. Okay. Third exercise is single arm row and push-ups. So I'm going to do my single arm rows, bent over row, and then push-ups on the box. Alrighty, so I'm going to use a 12, which is heavy for me. So my reps are going to be a little bit lower, and that's all right. That's what we want. So you can do this on a different height surface. So I'm going to have one hand on the box while I'm rowing with the other. I think the main point is that we want to try and keep that new neutral spine, okay? So sometimes we do it, you'll have seen it with kind of one hand and one knee on a bench and we're rowing. I'm going to have three parts of my body touching, 2 on the floor and then one hand, and I'm going to come down into roughly a 90-degree angle, which would be the same as if you were on a bench or if I had a lower surface, okay? For this one, I'm going to keep my shoulder blade back and down. So going back to your cars, when you had that time to think about that shoulder blade, I'm going to pull it back and down in my back, which means I've kind of set my shoulder into its socket, for want of a better word. And then from here, I'm going to draw. And now at the top, I can do a little turn just to try and get that lat full engaged there, which is your muscle back here. Under the scapula. But what I'm going to do is make sure that when I come back down, I'm not allowing that weight to drag me down, okay? I'm going to come back down into that set position that I've created from the start. Alrighty, soft bend in the knees, nice flat back, off we go. Trying desperately not to crunch up my shoulders. Okay, so my left side done. I'm going to match it with my strong side and try and get the same number. Lots of interruptions today. Okay, off to my strong side. Same idea with the shoulder. Just trying desperately not to let that crunch up. A little bit easier on this side. Okay. I'm going to rest for a second and then go into my press-ups. So again, I'm just going to do my press-ups on the high box for as long as I can. Not sure you have seen me as red as this. Good, so with the press up, just a quick reminder, we're going to have a nice straight line from the top of our head to our heels. As I go down, my heels will lift, but I'm not starting in this high heel position. Okay, just let them relax. As you go down, they'll lift off the floor. You've got enough things to have intention. You don't need to do the calves as well, because also that will just send weight over the top of that movement. Shoulder blades down. Keeping the technique all the way through. Full push up at the top. Alrighty, job done. Okay, super. If you feel like one round is enough there, that's plenty, because you're going to failure anyway, so you can move on to the next one. So next up, after a 2-minute rest, we are into V-sits and heel tap side bends. So with the V-sits, this really has to be completely dependent on your current core stability and where we're at. We've got people who are running miles and miles and lifting heavy, but then still that core, the dynamic movement through the core, like just doing a full sit-ups is still really challenging. So judge it on you, like everything we do. I'll give you some tips to make it kind of easier or harder, whatever needs to happen. And then the same with the toe taps. So with the V-sit, just double check. Yeah, so what we'll do is here, and we can sit and hold this position with heels off the floor. Okay, we're trying to keep that spine nice and neutral. Okay, so this can be the V-sit. So you could time this out just put your stopwatch on and go for it. We can make this harder by bringing legs out. Kind of turns it into a different exercise if we're bringing legs in and out, and it's a bit of a difficult one. Now I'm tiring. What else? Yeah, if you need to make it a bit easier, drop one heel on the floor, leave the other one up, and then a little lean back, keeping that nice neutral spine. If that's a real struggle, you put your 2 heels down, and you'll be doing enough work here. You can squeeze your bum just as long as you feel safe in that position. So that's your V-sit. And I think time that. If you're desperate for some movement in there, you can do a twist. But again, it's a Russian twist that becomes a different exercise. And then your heel to toe taps. You're going to have your back pressed into the floor. So remember what I said about the box on your back. You're going to press that into the floor. And then from here, we can go sideways, toe tapping. So what you're not doing there, what we're trying not to do is reach with the arm. What we're trying to do is get these muscles here to do the work. Okay, so you feel almost like the muscles right under the bra strap is doing the work, or under your rib cage. Yeah, so we're not reaching, doesn't matter how far we get with those hands. As soon as we start to do that, you're going to feel it in your neck and down your traps and down your front to your chest. So get yourself into a nice position where you're just using your obliques and kind of those muscles that you feel like that are in under your rib cage. So let me just grab hold of this. Right, you carry on, do those, and then you can pause me, and then I'm going to demonstrate the cool down. So you carry on, do your core, and I'm going to go straight into cool down. So pause me now if you're working away. And then I'm going to go into a calf stretch. So we're going to do, so cool down now, we're going to do calf stretch, side bends, seated forward bends. So calf stretch, just hanging off the edge of your, whatever block or item you had. You know, you can do single legs here, or you can do double legs just hanging off the edge of a step. Side bend, so again, so's obliques, so we're just going to bend down to the side, letting yourself stretch on that side. And again, stretching on that side. So you spend a bit longer in these positions. Then we're doing a seated forward bend, child's pose, and cobra. So sitting on the floor. You can do it a couple of ways here. We can just forward bend. In fact, I'd love you to play with stuff here. So weirdly, as I forward bend, I get that through my calves. As soon as I bring up my spine and then I bend forward at the hip or flex at the hip, keep my spine straight, I can feel it somewhere else. I can feel it moving up the leg. Okay, bring the legs out, do the same thing. Playing with manipulating the spine. Okay, child's pose, we all know, we do lots of them by now. So knees out, dropping down, giving yourself some time here. Okay, let's just give ourselves 6 or 7 really deep breaths here where we just think about the breath. So a tiny bit of kind of mild mindfulness or meditation just for a moment. While you've taken the time for yourself. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to go into your cobra position. So just lifting up. Just at the end. Okay, well done for getting that done. Sorry, it was a bit rushed there at the end, but super. Make sure you write down all of your scores and timings and so on. And yeah, look forward to seeing you at your next session. Well done. Bye-bye.